going on, everybody? This is Jesse Lozano from Nerd with Balls. Alright, this is the review for the movie Dope. So let's get down and dirty of it. You know, I think it's a revamped version of the Little Rascals meets Boys in the Hood. You have this dude, right? And he has his little crew. There's three of them. We got Malcolm, Diggy, and Jib. So it's about this kid, right? He's like a little brainiac. Him and his friends live in the 90s. They think that was the best time period of all time. But they're now in the future. So they're at our present time. They go on this quest, and you know, just like any other high school movie, they're looking for fucking some pussy, and they got caught up. And as they get caught up, they get into drugs and all this other stuff. They're not doing it personally, but they got a few kilos of what they're calling Molly. So Malcolm has everything going for it. He has his college, he has somebody from Harvard that's gonna mentor him from his same neighborhood that actually went out there and did it. They get caught up with his drugs, and he finds out that his actual mentor that's supposed to be doing it is actually the big drug lord around. It's like, nope. The other dude got you pinched, his name was Dominic, so now you gotta do Dominic's work. And he's like, dude, I'm just trying to go to college and I was not made for this. What am I gonna do? So he goes out there and he realizes what he knows about technology. He knows nothing about drugs. He knows everything about himself and his friends. So they were all trying to get to this party and whatnot, and they realized they had like this epiphany of life. Let's just do BitTorrents. Let's go to the black web. So now you have the inner schools of like fucking LA meet technology. Like, it's like anonymous thrown up in there. So they start selling drugs through online on this black web. And it's fucking dope because they sit out there, they plan it out, they get it into motion. But there's a lot of crazy things. Like, these guys are a punk group. They're called Oreo. And some of the music is just really way off. So Diggy is actually a chick that looks like a dude. So if you whack off to her, it's like whacking off to Bruno Mars because they look identical. But this one has tits. Diggy, her grandmother and parents believe that she has a demon in her. So every Sunday they sit there and they actually do a seance or whatever. They pretty much just tried to pray for the gay to be out of her. But the whole time that they're doing it, she's checking out all the chicks that are fucking prayed over. Which I get, that makes sense, right? One of the biggest things that they really pointed out, you know, white people have the privilege of going out there in the world, and there are people that frequently listen to Donald Glover. Now, you know, white people have the privilege of going out there in the world, and there are people that frequently listen to Donald Glover. So he comes across this baddie through the drug dealer Dom, not the Lord, he's the guy who gets caught up, right? But he's like, yo, I want you to go tell that little honey over there, I want to invite her to my party. He goes back and forth, just being a middleman, and finally he's afraid of this drug dealer, so he's just kind of like, okay, cool, I'll do it. And the girl tells him, Malcolm, send me a dance tonight. I'm only gonna go if you go. So he's like, oh shit! He's talking to his homie Jib, and he's like, dude, she said save the dance for you. So metaphorically, she's trying to show you her pussy. I get that, I get that. You know what's crazy about this movie? It kind of reminds me of my inner workings of everybody at Nerd with Balls, because we all sit the stereotypes of nerds. You become a nerd not because you want to be, it's just you don't have a place to belong. And you try to wear these different hats, and then you try to become yourself, and the world says, no, it's not good enough. But then people find your traits and how good you are at them, and they try to use that and capitalize in every which way they can. And that's the oppression they see. So there's a lot of humor, a lot of fast talking, but a lot more modern things going on. So there's an actual part where Malcolm's talking to like that baddie chick that Dom wanted him to set him up with. And she kind of finds out that he's trying to cockblock Dom. And she's like, you're trying to be the other man to Dom. He's like, no. She's like, you're a good looking guy. So you're different from the rest of them. You probably have girls lined up trying to get you to take them to prom. And he looks at her, he's like, are you messing with me? I was like, fuck, dude, that could totally be Madrid. Because she was genuinely being serious, and I was just like, fuck, I've been in that position. Like, why the fuck are you talking to me of being a baddie? You know, Sergio hangs out with us, and we don't know why. They show, like, guys that made it out of the neighborhood, and now their kids think they're G's because, you know what, daddy was from there. I was like, alright, cool, you know, like, there's that modern world now. There's a new emphasis on the drug Molly. It's called Lily now, and they created it. Black web out there in the world. There's a chick trying to fuck Malcolm just because she's fucking pissed off at the world, and she's like, fuck it, but she was just trying to get his drugs, and it was the drug lord's daughter. It's all fucked up, man. There's humor. There's so much intellectual innuendos in there. There's a lot of, like, I wouldn't say action, but just a lot of oppression that most people have seen. Like, he gets bullied for his shoes. And at the end, he pulls a fucking gun out on the dude. He's just like, dude, just don't fuck me. I'm sorry, this and that. He had respect from that guy. You know, you have the Bloods, you have the Crips, you got everybody out there. And it's all in this modern world. And now they're really trying to figure out, like, what's Malcolm's next move. And Malcolm's thing is pretty much like, I've been through everything I've been through. And my goal is Harvard. If I was white, you would have said I've already succeeded. I believe that. And it was just like a spin because we look at society now and we don't really take in perspective what the old ways and the new ways and how they kind of fused into what we live in this moment, in this life as. And that's why I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. So I give it a nerd on a scale of 1 through 10, I'd say it's a fucking 9. I guarantee you it's really going to be the blockbuster that everybody's sleeping on. Even if they don't make the finances, it's going to be a cult classic. Hands down. Just a Lozano from Nerd with Balls. Peace!